Hi everyone, my name is Stine Femerling and I'm a senior consultant at Spark, and I'm going to conduct the 2-hour session in a week on how to conduct effective virtual meetings. The first thing I'm going to say is that in order to be a good virtual facilitator, you have to be able to engage a dialogue and a conversation around a focused agenda with the right people that are ready to meet some clear objectives. That's basically the purpose of being an effective virtual meeting facilitator. When we have those virtual meetings, there are mainly two challenges that we face. The first one is that we actually do not acknowledge that there is a genre difference between face-to-face meetings and virtual meetings. That means that we are actually taking in our face-to-face meeting practice into the virtual room. And that's actually not what we should do, because that is not creating effective virtual meetings. That's creating frustration, long meetings, not very focused meetings, and people, they don't really know what to do afterwards. So what we need to focus on is actually to develop the competencies and the skills of the virtual meeting facilitator. So what are those skills that we need to develop? We need to develop design and planning skills, and we need to develop how do we actually facilitate an action when we have those headphones on, when everyone are dispersed in different locations. How do we create engagement, involvement, interaction in the virtual meeting when we're communicating? So these are the two main things that we're going to dig into, both on Friday, but also the materials that I have given you. The 2 articles, this little film clip, will take point of departure in how do we actually plan and how do we facilitate engagement and interaction in the meetings. Okay, so when we take point of departure in the planning and designing part of it, when we have a face-to-face meeting, we usually spend 5% of our time before the meeting. We do the agenda, we maybe read some few documents, but we can do it 5 minutes before the meeting. During, we spend 90% of our energy. We're there, we have the conversations, we discuss, etc. And then we spend maybe another 5% afterwards where we follow up over the water cooler or whatever. So in a virtual setting, it's very, very different. We have to spend 50% of our time of really creating and engage a purpose and agenda. So instead of having 5, 6 purposes for the meeting, we need to have one purpose per meeting. That means we're going to decide, and that's the only thing we're going to do on this meeting. And if we want to brainstorm, we have to schedule another meeting, and that will be the one purpose of that. So we spend much more time on preparing, getting feedback from participants, etc. And during, we spend 20% of our energy. Because in the during meeting, when we have the meeting, it's extremely important that we think about the 30, 45, and 90 rule. So we design meetings not longer than 30 minutes, not longer than 45 minutes, no longer than 90 minutes. We really have to have a long meeting. And then, instead of having presentations, 20 minutes presentation here, 20 minutes presentation there, we want to have an engaging, interactive meeting, which means that every third minute we have to have interaction. So that's a during meeting. After, we also have to spend 30% of how to follow up, how to keep momentum, how to make sure that what we decided on is actually being fulfilled. And that requires much more interaction, not over the water cooler, because we won't meet our colleagues over the water cooler or during the coffee break. We have to make that decision to call the persons, to email, to chat, to use all the different technologies to actually connect with our colleagues out there. One of the things about having virtual meetings is a little bit linked to the concept of flip learning. So flip learning is about flipping everything around, meaning that instead of spending time on me presenting this content during the meeting, I require that I've done this little film clip just to make it before, the presentation before. You can see it whenever you feel like it. And then when we're meeting, I demand that you have already read the articles, you have seen the movie. So when we're meeting on Friday, we'll be interacting, we'll be talking, we'll be discussing. So when we meet together, we have interaction. We don't have long presentation. That is killing every virtual meeting. So that's a different aspect of having the face-to-face. That's how we go from a face-to-face practice into a virtual practice. Yes, that's actually the main points I want to say today. I just want to wish you best of luck in the next couple of days where you're going to read the articles and see this film clip. And on Friday, I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks to how to facilitate in action, give you some examples of how can we actually create this engaging and motivating conversation around a focused agenda that virtual meetings need. Thank you.